Hello, welcome back to the bunker. New ad, same guy. This is doomed to repeat.
Our universe is doomed! Doomed!
Tonight at 11.
Doom!
We're doomed!
Doomed! Doomed!
Alright, today we're going to be talking about Morrissey. No, not him. We're going to be talking about John Old Smoke Morrissey, the infamous bare-knuckle boxer, gang leader, corrupt politician, founder of Saratoga racetrack, and accused murderer. So 100 times better than that guy. Alright, John Morrissey was born in Templemore in County Tipperary in Ireland on February 12, 1831. Around the age of 3, his family immigrated to Troy, New York. His family being desperately poor, and John growing into a large and strong lad, led to naturally John being engaged in local street gang activities, soon becoming leader of a downtown gang that was odds with an uptown gang. Many street battles happened, with the young Morrissey usually ending up the victor. Morrissey worked various labor-intensive blue-collar jobs, such as working in a wallpaper factory, in an ironworks, a bouncer at a local brothel, and a deckhand on a steamer running between Albany and New York City, allowing him to engage in more adventures and to extend his criminal career. Soon after, in New York City, that John Morrissey acquired the nickname Old Smoke. In a shooting gallery, Morrissey ended up in an altercation with rough and tumble fighter Tom McCann. During the melee, Morrissey fell onto some hot coals from a fallen stove, burning his backside and clothes.
Baskets are burning! Fire in the house!
Enraged, Morrissey bounced up and pummeled McCann, with his butt and clothes still on fire and smoking. After that, the nickname Old Smoke stuck. During a failed trip out to San Francisco for the gold rush, because of course he went to the freaking gold rush, Morrissey found that his talents for beating people into mincemeat wasn't just fun, he could make money doing it. So he started his career as a bare-knuckle boxer. After he came back east, word of success of beating people senseless with his bare hands came with him. This led to a match between Morrissey and champion Yankee Sullivan. This match had to be held on the New York-Massachusetts border because the vicious sport of bare-knuckle boxing was illegal in both states. The site chosen was Boston Corners, being far enough away so the authorities wouldn't give a fuck. Despite being smaller and older than Morrissey, Sullivan beat Old Smoke until his eyes were swollen shut and blood was gushing out of his nose. In the 37th round, yes, the goddamn 37th round, Morrissey started to beat Sullivan back, having him against the ropes. When Sullivan once again gained footing, he hit Morrissey with what an associate of Morrissey felt was a low blow. This caused this associate to jump into the ring and shove Sullivan. As you may guess, this is when shit really went off the hook. Morrissey pleaded with the ref to reward him the match because of the low blow and for Sullivan leaving the ring to fight members of the crowd, which the ref agreed. Then a small riot broke out. Morrissey's friends scooped him up and got the fuck out of there. As he was growing his boxing career, Morrissey was also climbing the ladder of crime. Morrissey was member and a leader in the street gang, the Dead Rabbits. Yes, the one from that Scorsese movie, but think it less father figure themes and more ethnic violence. The Dead Rabbits were allied with the infamous corrupt Democratic political machine, Tammany Hall, and the corrupt Tammany Hall boss, Boss Tweed. The Dead Rabbit's arch rivals was the Bowery Boys, led by Bill Butcher. No, not that Bill Butcher. This Bill Butcher. Bill Poole, the fierce gang member and street fighter. The Bowery Boys were connected to the Know Nothing Party, an anti-immigrant, anti-Irish Catholic, racist political party of the 19th century. The Bowery Boys and other natives gangs worked as muscle for the Know Nothings. Think of them as the Proud Boys, but way freaking scarier. Besides their hatred for each other based on ethnicity, gang affiliation, and politics, animosity between Bill and John also arose from the Morrissey-Yankee Sullivan fight. You see, Bill had a lot of money on Sullivan and didn't agree with the decision, so refused to pay his debt. An altercation happened when the two men ran into each other at the City Hotel at the corner of Howard and Broadway. These men agreed to handle this at a later date with a boxing match. Unfortunately for Morrissey, he allowed Bill to choose a location. That location being the Chelsea Street docks. When John showed up on the agreed date, instead of a gentleman's battle of fisticuffs, Bill the Butcher jumped on Old Smoke, beating him savagely, mashing his face into mincemeat, knocking him to the floor. When Morrissey tried to stand up, he was set upon by many Bowery Boys with kicks and hits with canes. Morrissey barely got out with his life. This was far from the last time Bill and Morrissey would battle. On Election Day, 1854, there was word that the Know Nothing Party was going to send their enforcers to the polls to intimidate and assault immigrant, mostly Irish Catholic, Democratic voters. The enforcers were, of course, Bill the Butcher and the Bowery Boys, as well as other natives gangs. Tammany Hall sent out a call to John Morrissey and the Dead Rabbits. Morrissey quickly organized the Rabbits, as well as other Irish immigrant gangs, and sent them to the polls to protect against the nativist Bowery Boys. When all was said and done, the Dead Rabbit side outnumbered the native side 2-1. When Bill showed up, he saw the number of Irish, and he took his boys and went home. As a reward for this, Tammany Hall gave Morrissey several gambling houses to run. Now, the long war between Bill the Butcher and Old Smoke Morrissey came to a conclusion on August 25th, 1855. Earlier that day, an argument broke out between Morrissey and Poole at Stanwix Hall on Broadway, ending when Morrissey pulled out his gun, firing at Bill 3 times. Every time the pistol misfired, never firing a shot. Police quickly arrived and took the men away. Short time later, Morrissey just went home, and Bill went back to the hall. Morrissey's buddies, Lou Baker, Jim Turner, and Patrick McLaughlin, otherwise known as Paul Dean, went looking for Poole in the hall. Good old Paul Dean went up to Bill and said, "What are you looking at, you black-muzzled bastard?" and spat in his face. Bill yelled back that he could whip all their asses. This called Baker to spring up and said, "Well, I guess I'll take you anyhow." Takes out his pistol and shoots himself in his arm. In his own arm. He somehow gets off another shot on Bill, and this time hitting Bill in the chest. Bill, staggering, pulls out 2 huge knives out of his pocket and starts walking towards them. The Dead Rabbits got the fuck out of there because they just shot what seems like a dandy vampire, and now he's pissed and coming after him with 2 knives. As soon as they got out the door, Bill hit the ground and collapsed. It took a week for Bill the Butcher to die. he would soon become a martyr to nativists and racist assholes until this very fucking day. The cops quickly rounded up Morrissey, Baker, Turner, and Pauldine, and when they came to trial, they all got off with hung juries. Of course, this has nothing to do with the fact that they were in with Tammany Hall at all. Not that at all. Building on the gambling halls gifted from Tammany, Morrissey was going to open up several more. One of the most successful was in Saratoga Springs, New York. The success led to Morrissey to create the Saratoga racetrack with William Travers. First race starting in 1863. He also established the Clubhouse, a casino in Saratoga that attracts such notable guests as Chester A. Arthur, Rutherford B. Hayes, Ulysses S. Grant, and other forgettable presidents. Cornelius Vanderbilt, John D. Rockefeller, and Mark Twain. In 1866, Morrissey ran for Congress with the backing of Tammany Hall, despite his political rivals pointing out the fact that he was a two-bit gangster that beat lots of people up and was accused of murder. He became a congressman and served 2 terms. As a congressman, he always looked out for the interests of the Irish and was known to use his strong arm techniques to accomplish his legislative goals. At one point, allegedly declaring that he could lick any man in the house. Yep, he could lick any man in the house. I guess things meant something different back then, because that sounds weird. Anyways, he eventually grew tired of rampant corruption of Tammany Hall. Yes, even John Morrissey got sick of Boss Tweed and left the house after his second term. Morrissey eventually testified against William Tweed, which helped put Boss Tweed finally into prison. He was elected as an anti-Tammany Hall Democrat to the New York State Senate in 1875 and was reelected in 1877. Morrissey contracted pneumonia and died on May 1st, 1878, at the age of 47. The state closed all the offices and flags were flown at half-mast. The entire state senate attended his funeral in Troy, held on May 4th, 1878, and 20,000 mourners lined the streets to pay their last respect, which was one of the largest funerals ever in Troy. So why did I tell you about this guy? Was it a fun story? Well, I hope you had fun with this story. I had fun. But it's not that. It's because I wanted to talk about another fellow large, burly Irishman with a beard from the Capital District of New York. Well, yeah. But the real reason I was inspired to make this video about a gangster congressman has to do with a dumb comment from a local politician. For people not from my area, Saratoga Public Safety Commissioner John Montagno, whatever his name is, blamed a recent uptick in violence in the bar district of the town on a local DJ and a bar that plays gangster rap. This is what he said. What I'm told is that there are some unsavory characters who enjoy the gangster rap. And late on Saturday night tempers sometimes flare. Now, gee, I wonder why they said gangster rap. I can't put my finger on why they have a problem with gangster rap. Gee, I wonder what it could be. Now, to be fair, he later gave one of the cringiest apologies you won't ever want to hear. Like serious. When it says that people in the crowd groaned, there's something wrong with your apology. This is by no means the first dog whistle coming from a Saratoga official. And not even the worst. You would think a place known for horses wouldn't have a bunch of dog whistles. They aren't even good dog whistles. You can hear them loud and clear. They're too loud or quiet or however that works with dog whistles. Anyway, it's just racist stuff. The part why there's violence in this one part of town is because your economy's partly based on giving a poison, a literal poison to people that literally makes them want to fight. You think that might have something to do with it? You think maybe, the fact that there's a bunch of bars and douchebags, and when you put those together, you get violence? No, it has to be the gangster rap. It has to be the gangster rap. But Saratoga, just look at your past. Look at your past. Your most famous attraction was founded by a literal bar-fighting gangster. Why are you trying to lose this? Why? What I'm saying to you, Saratoga, is reject modernity. Embrace tradition. All right, well, that's going to be it for me. I hope you had fun with this one. Next time I might have you might see some Hitler next time. Maybe not. I don't know. I've been working on it, so beer putsch, hopefully next time. Like always, remember, support your local activists, support your local mutual aid, give to your local bail fund, all that fun stuff. All right, that's it for me for now. See you next time.